This is the 72-volt Minimotors Dualtron Storm, the first removable battery scooter from the company that invented dual-motor electric scooters. It's fast, it's loud, and it's gorgeous. It's basically the Lamborghini Aventador of electric scooters. We've fully performance tested the Storm, and we're going to show you how the Storm's performance stacks up against our data from these three tire shredding scooters: the Nami Burn E, the Cabo Wolf King, and the Apollo Phantom Ludo. This scooter isn't even out yet. We'll also cover what it's like to ride the Storm and the 1P setting where backing it off actually made the scooter faster. The Storm is a premium scooter with a premium price, but also comes with some big specifications, including a huge carrying capacity and the largest removable battery ever fitted to an electric scooter. Battery swapping is the Storm's superpower. It's the only scooter we know of that you could ride from Philadelphia to New York in 4.5 hours without stopping to charge up. That is, if you bring along two of these. It's a feature that delivery riders are already taking advantage of. Even without swapping batteries, the Storm has the third longest range of any scooter we've ever tested, covering 43.6 miles on our test circuit. The Storm's performance is stunning. Just 6 months ago, it would have easily taken the crown as the fastest scooter we have ever tested. But in today's super scooter arms race, it has some stiff competition. From 0 to 15, the Storm ties the prototype Phantom Ludo at 2.1 seconds, coming in just behind the Wolf King, with the Burn E way out ahead. From 0 to 30, it ties the Wolf King for third, with the Ludo edging into second place, and the Burn E once again out front. It's not surprising the Storm's performance should be so close to the Wolf King though, because both of these 72-volt scooters use 40-amp controllers made by Minimotors. These four scooters are the who's who of hill climb, with the Burn E out in front again, and all three others within 1/10 of a second of each other. Stopping from 15 miles per hour in less than 11 feet puts the Storm squarely among the elite for stopping distance. However, it falls 6 inches behind its 100-pound peers in this test, and 18 inches behind the Ludo. The Storm's nut hydraulic brakes and rubber suspension make it easy to control during an emergency stop. But the scooter's braking is ultimately limited by the taller deck height, since taller scooters are more prone to the rear wheel lifting during hard braking. We test top speed by averaging together two back-to-back half-mile speed runs in opposite directions. In our top speed test, the Dualtron Storm turned the third fastest top speed we've ever measured at 51.6 miles per hour. Everything about the Storm feels tight and responsive. Being a Dualtron, we expected the throttle to be strong and immediate, but the Storm is on another level. On other scooters, maxing out P settings gives you maximum performance. But on the Storm, turning all of the P settings all the way up just gives you bonkers amounts of front wheel spin. It took some testing to prove this, but the Storm actually accelerates faster with initial acceleration turned almost all the way down, because the front tire just hooks up better. These are the P settings that gave us maximum performance while also delivering the best throttle response. The Storm may be the first scooter I've ever ridden where I actually enjoy riding in eco mode. The eco button is easy to use, and the scooter still feels really fun because you're still running dual motors. And at full throttle, it'll even give you a little front wheel spin. The large, grippy rear footrest feels good, but takes a little getting used to because it's connected directly to the rear suspension and moves in a noticeable way when you hit the throttle. The suspension itself is tall and a bit stiff, but it works well for larger riders and for aggressive riding because it does a great job of keeping the scooter from diving during hard braking or bottoming out when jumping curves. It's also adjustable. Suspension cartridges can be swapped out for harder or softer versions, and the ride height can be adjusted by selecting how the swing arms engage the cartridges. Altogether, it's an intense ride. If you commute to work on the Storm, you're gonna arrive feeling like you just had a double shot of espresso. In typical Dualtron style, the build quality is top-notch, and there are some impressive design details. The Storm's removable battery is a first for Dualtron, and they have done it very well, including a voltmeter you can turn on and off, a nice handle, and a locking system. Despite being the largest removable battery ever and a little heavy, it still fits into a normal backpack, so you can swap batteries to extend range or charge the battery at your desk. The charge ports do take up a little bit of deck space. They didn't get in my way while riding, but it's worth noting that the deck is going to feel 3 inches shorter if you stand left foot forward. The stem height is short for a scooter of its size, with handlebars slightly lower than a Wolf Warrior. Fortunately, there is plenty of cable length to work with if you want to install bar risers. The new dual stem clamp works nicely, but some owners have found that the stem itself makes an old familiar Dualtron sound. Fortunately, this is very easy to fix. When our scooter arrived, it had a slight side-to-side wobble in the handlebars, but that was also easy to completely eliminate. The new switches are gorgeous and do 2 things we really like. The Storm has the best turn signal switch ever because you can feel whether the turn signals are on or not without looking. But if you do look down, you'll also be able to see whether you're in eco mode or not. Over at the other side of the handlebars is the classic EY3 throttle, which is starting to look a little dated, but is still refreshingly easy to read in direct sunlight. All of the cables are beautifully wrapped, though the control switches aren't plug and play. Surprisingly, the motors themselves are plug and play, meaning you don't have to rewire the whole scooter just to swap a tire or a brake rotor. While the cables look well protected and very strong, we'd like to see Minimotors add some sort of steering stop to protect them in the event of a fall. The Storm uses exactly the same 11-inch CST tires as the Wolf King and the Burn E. These tires can't be mounted on split rims because they're tubeless. Minimotors has done the next best thing though, and have made rims that separate from the motors, so you can switch from road tires to off-road tires on one set of motors by swapping between 2 sets of rims. The Storm's build quality is classic Dualtron. In other words, it's very, very good. Our Storm did benefit from a couple small tweaks, but that's true of every scooter I've ever had my hands on. Right out of the box, its build quality is as good as scooters get. At 103 pounds, the Storm is not very portable, but it does have a few tricks up its sleeve. It has nicely designed folding handlebars, and the scooter gets almost 30 pounds lighter when the battery's removed. But even if you do it in 2 trips, it's not a scooter you're going to want to carry upstairs every day. But if you only have to carry the battery upstairs, that's not so bad. The Storm has 3 strong safety features. It's easy to see at night, easy for pedestrians to hear coming on trails, and has excellent brakes. On the other hand, we strongly recommend adding an external headlight for night riding so you can see everybody else. And of course, a scooter like this requires a certain level of self-control. It's fully capable of being a safe scooter if you're capable of being a safe rider. But you do need to take this scooter seriously. Pros include excellent build quality, the 3rd longest range of any scooter we've ever tested, and adjustable suspension. Cons include abrupt throttle and short, creaky stem. The Storm is a scooter people are gonna have strong reactions to. If you like intense, in-your-face scooters, you're gonna like it right out of the box. I think it's set up great for aggressive riding, but I do like knowing that I could soften up the suspension and double the range if I wanted to take it on some longer rides. One thing I think almost everybody will be able to agree on is that it is really good looking and solidly built. In other words, it's a Dualtron. If you want to check out the most record-breaking scooter we've ever reviewed, click on this video for the Nami Burn E. And if you want to check out the fastest scooter we've ever reviewed, check out the Cabo Wolf King.